Now, if you're someone like me and you have no coding experience and you're still trying to figure out how Cursor works and how to make web apps through no code, you need to check out Bolt.new. It's the thing that potentially can make you create projects from one prompt, and then you've got something ready to go. And I've been playing around with this because it's a free tier, which can get you started with at least one or two projects before you cap out with tokens. The paid tier is only $9 USD, which isn't too bad. So I want to show you how you can go from one prompt to accessing a project file of code that's produced pretty quickly, like a Next.js file, and then you can start modifying it all. So let's just start with like a scheduling prompt and see how that goes. So for those that haven't seen this yet, this just popped off recently and it's still quite new. And if you're a complete beginner, this can give you a big boost. Okay, so let's just start saying I want a scheduling app made from Next.js using TypeScript and Tailwind and Shad CN for styling. I want it to look like later.com, but 10x better. Start with that. And the cool thing about this is if you played around with Cursor and V0, I'd say this is similar to like V0, except for not only do they do the front end, as you can see, they do the whole entire back end and the organization for the code, and it just speeds up time, as well as it just helps people through all different difficulties and experiences on how you can go from an idea to an MVP pretty quickly. And my workflow process is I try not to finish this straight away because obviously there's things to work on, but you can also deploy, which is pretty crazy. And you can also modify on this as well. It's just that I've been doing this a bit recently. You don't have much tokens to actually modify. So in a sense, if you guys have been using Replit AI, it's kind of like that, except for you can use any project, any language. You're not limited to vanilla JS. So let's just see what this looks like after just one prompt. And I'd say it's pretty solid, especially if you're still a beginner and all you need is prompting skills. Not bad, not bad. So it's got ShadCN library set up and it looks pretty cool. It's got that toggle dark and light mode. Notifications. I'm actually saved this and work on it. So we've got this kind of calendar, pretty good. Analytics. The only thing about this and how it's deploying on a website, it can be a bit slow and the buttons don't work just yet. But the cool thing about this is that you can actually get it to fix problems like what you do on Cursor. So again, it's for free. So you can play around with this, you can learn with this. The cool thing about this is that they recently launched a open source coding session where you can actually talk more with the code. Kind of like Composer, where you highlight sections in the code and you ask, like, what does this mean? Can you explain what this means? And this is what I'm noticing in the last week. People are going into the large language models and modifying and trying to understand what the code is and trying to better learn code faster, which is really cool. Again, there's heaps of problems. You know what? We might just do it once more. But the cool thing is, if I just show you here, it does so much for you. We still don't get much working. Fix problem. And yeah, I highly like if you're a complete beginner, you can definitely learn with this. It's completely for free. And if you find value out of this, especially if you're using V0, this is only $9, so way cheaper than V0, and you can learn a lot more. Limitations, I would say some of the stuff that you can ask doesn't really help. So one thing I was getting coming to issues with is that I was trying to prompt, can you please show me the step-by-step process to producing like a private GitHub repo or public GitHub repo, and it just went into a limitless loop of just giving me random things to try to figure out, and I couldn't figure it out. And then it's just pretty much up to you to play around with it. And this is one thing that I feel like separates newcomers and beginners and pros, is you just have to play around and just keep constantly making a mistake pretty quickly. So one thing that I learned, which is my workflow, is once you've got something that you're pretty happy with, go to open in StackBlitz and look, you can repurpose this and deploy it straight away. They use Netlify, and as long as you've got awesome marketing skills, just market it away. But if you want to keep modifying this, you've got their version of Cursor, which is called what was called StackBlitz. So it looks exactly like Cursor. You just modify. You've got the AI chatbot on the right side. So that's one thing. One thing that I'm doing, just because it's a bit slow, I just deploy this on Cursor and just modify it. You create a repository, make sure you're linked in with your GitHub, and then it just call it. What are we going to call it? Scheduler V2. I think I've called one. I'm not too sure what this does, but yeah, you need to upgrade. Let's just do public. The cool thing about Bolt.new, they've got their whole go open source. And what does that mean? It means you just deploy Bolt.new on your local drive. And I saw a video where they did do that, but it was just as slow or even slower. So it's totally up to you. I feel like at this stage, me as a beginner, I'm not at the level where I can modify something like this. It's so cool and complicated that I just need to keep learning basic stuff to really understand prompting and coding. Also, for those that are still tracking this journey, I'm on. Let's see what kind of day I'm on for the no code Replit, because I feel like if you're still a beginner, I highly recommend you go on Replit 100 days of Python coding. I feel I'm on day 19, but we'll have a look. So my plan is to try to get 100 days sorted within a month. Replit. Yeah, I got rid of my subscription for Core because I haven't been using it. I've been using Vercel. I've tried to be a bit more kind of frugal with my spending. Yeah, so the starter plans all used up. Yeah, so I'm on day 16 now. So it's been. There's one thing I want to show you guys, because if you guys are not learning how to code plus building a YouTube channel, I feel like it's a potential gold mine, because people that are trying to learn code, you start with 200,000 people trying to learn this, and it just dies off so quickly. So by by day, well, I'm up to day 16. If we just do the calculations, let's see. So 265 divided by, what's the number again? 32. 265 Oh, sorry. Uh, 32 divided by 265. Oops. 32 divided by. I hate this. I'm still trying to figure out this touch bar that I've got from Asus. If anyone's got an Asus, you know that this has got like a touchscreen part that you can modify and just do like a calculator on your touchpad. To oops, sorry guys, I am really poor with maths. So 30, I think it was 32 divided by 265. 12% are continuing on. Only 12% have gone up to day 16, which is crazy. If you don't, if you don't, if you don't believe it. And this is the gameplay here for you guys. Make YouTube videos, learn SaaS, and document your journey. I'm a complete noob, and you're just gonna see my journey. And look, I'm not trying that hard. Maybe I'm trying it like a little bit, but anyone can just do this. Just get a loom. I'm paying for it, and also, if you guys reach the end and you want to know like a little cheeky secret, there's a $9 version that's come out for Mac users and not Windows users yet. I'm using Windows and I'm waiting for it to come out, and it could be the next competitor for Loom. Once $9, pretty cheap. So gotta wait for that. And also, one thing I want to show you is my channel log. I've been pretty much posting almost every day. I try to do every second day, but as you can see, I really wanted to post this video because it's been 4 days since I've posted. I feel like numbers have slowly gone up slowly, and vanity metrics, I guess I do care because we love something to get to another 1,000. My best view was 2,000, which was in my first month. I am playing around a little bit with the thumbnails, but it's all about consistency. I just want to make sure I can get to 360, my 365th episode as quickly as possible. So that's this time, probably this time next year. So I'm on a pretty good track record of running it. So I think we're doing pretty good, I would say. The other thing I want to share you guys, especially if you're a beginner, is this is you just pretty much copy people's open source GitHub repo. I can share this with you guys. I pay pork bun $2 for the year or $3 for the year for a domain, and you can just play around with people's public Git repository, just so you can. It's more so learning. So this is from Rexan Wong, and I said remixed by me. Put a couple things on. And one thing that I'm still struggling with is this development mode. So if anyone knows how to fix this development mode for Clerk, because that's one thing I'm trying to fix. I've actually got it in production, sorted that out, but it's still saying development mode. So I'm not too sure why it's doing that. But if anyone knows the answer to that, please hit me up. I would love to try to figure out how this is gonna how I can get rid of this. And yeah, the other thing why I want a different Loom alternative is now you can't see my my face, which kind of sucks. And I have no idea what's going on now. I'm just going to end the video now, but this is my update. Still complete noob. If you made it to the end, thanks for joining me for this raw, unedited update on where I'm at. And I'll see you in the next video. And I'll drop the links down for Bolt.new, and I can put down Rexan's one as well. Because one thing that I've realized, if you're a complete beginner, you have to know some type of coding just to speed up the process a little bit. You don't want to go shooting blindly, because if you're a complete noob, like myself, you're just going to keep clicking OK without reading and without learning. And part of coding is just learning every single time. And that's one mistake that I really want to emphasize when you're learning code. It's just you have to keep learning and keep getting better. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video.